Welcome. My name is Refilwe Lesufi, and I am a civil engineer. I've decided I'm going to freewheel. I'm not going to be speaking to a presentation. As I said, I am a civil engineer, and the first thing that I'm going to say about civil engineering is that it is a calling. Just like being a pastor is a calling, like being a mother and a father is a calling, civil engineering is a calling. And the reason I say that it's because it's not glamorous. I'm not gonna walk around being a Kim Kardashian and being famous, but what you do is so important. As a civil engineer, you are the one who designs and constructs these roads that we've driven on to get here. When you open your tap and there is clean water that comes out, that is part of civil engineering in collaboration with a chemical engineer who makes sure that the chemicals and the dosing that they put into the water ensure that you've got water of drinkable quality. And you must remember that in order for you to choose a path in your life, the most important question to ask yourself is what global or life problem do you want to solve? If you've got that why, when things get difficult, when you get to university and you feel like giving up, or you've already graduated and you are working and life becomes really hard, you're going to have to come back to that why and remind yourself, why did I choose this career? So I chose this career because I came from a township, and my grandmother lived in a very rural area where she did not have a flushing toilet. And I couldn't understand why, when I had to visit her, I had to go into this pit latrine in order for me to go and urinate or poop. And when I asked, when I was older, I was told that it's actually a civil engineering issue. It's civil engineers who make sure that you got reticulation, that makes sure that people have got sanitation. And I realized that for me, it was important for everyone to have the dignity to have a toilet to be able to go to. And that was one of the reasons why I chose civil engineering. And you must remember that whatever design and solution you come up with, it's not for you, but it is for the community that you are serving. So you might come up with the most exciting solution and put it in a community which is not ready to receive that thing that you have designed. And it's going to become a failed project, not because your design was wrong, but because it is not the appropriate solution for the community that you are serving. Now, I need you guys to always remember your why. And every day when you wake up, you need to wake up with a purpose, a plan, be present, participate, and make sure that you have a passion for everything that you do. Our previous speaker has spoken about setting goals and objectives. Now, I want you to remember something called SMART goals, right? They have to be specific. You have to be very specific as to what it is that you want. It has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, and it has to be realistic, and you have to be able to time it. Otherwise, it's just a dream. And if you have a dream without a purpose and a goal, you are not going to achieve anything. So coming back to me, I'm supposed to speak about my day as a civil engineer. I've got a BSc degree from Wits University as well as a master's degree from Wits. And I serve in the industry as a council member at the Engineering Council of South Africa. I'm a professionally registered civil engineer. And I am also the vice president of the South African Institution of Civil Engineering. Now, as you grow in your career, it's very important for you to participate in the industry. You can't just close yourself up in the work that you are doing, but you need to broaden it in order for you to create networks and become impactful in your sector. So as a civil engineer, you can choose. There are different sub-disciplines. For example, I'm a geotechnical engineer, which means that I play with soil. I go out to site and I dig pits and I drill and then I profile soil. I take samples and I send them to the lab so that I can then tell the structural engineer to say, You are building on clay or you are building on dolomite. Therefore, these are the types of foundations that you need to put on. The other different types of engineering is transportation engineering, where you design your roads. It's your water engineering, which provides your water and your sewer. You've got construction engineering, where you can become a contractor and actually physically get to build these solutions that we design. And we always work in collaboration with multidisciplinary teams, like chemical engineers, electrical engineers, architects, etc. So a typical day in my world, it's very dynamic because I wear so many hats. My day normally starts the day before. Before I go to bed, I take my calendar and I see what lies ahead. That's where the planning comes in, because I need to know what's going to be happening tomorrow in order for me to plan for the day. And then when I go to sleep, I already have an idea what's going on. I wake up in the morning with gratitude because then I've woken up, I've been given an opportunity to wake up and make a difference. And I pray. Thereafter, I'll fit in a bit of exercise. I'm a mother, I've got 6 children. I run around with the kids, making sure that they are at school. And then I make it to the office. When I get to the office, I've got these teams. I'm the owner of Prana Consulting. So I make sure that the different departments that are tackling the different projects are giving me feedback as to what designs they are doing. We sit and we brainstorm to make sure that we give our clients the best solutions. And the outcome of it is that you produce calculations, you produce specifications, bills of quantities, and drawings, which is what, when you go to site, the contractor uses those to know exactly what to do. So as engineers, we sell time. If you're going to take long on a design, it means that you are losing money. So you have to make sure that you provide designs of good quality, on time, and at cost at all times. And whatever you are designing, make sure that you think about the whole life cycle of your product. The things that I keep telling my team is that if you can't construct it, then don't even design it. Because sometimes you end up with designs that get taken to site and then it's actually not constructable. And the other one is that if you can't maintain it, don't even bother constructing it. That's the problems that we are facing with the roads, the electricity, all the basic services that we are struggling with in the country is because of lack of maintenance that we are experiencing. So I'm hoping that your generation will actually take operation and maintenance as the most important part of being an engineer. And then make sure when you go to site, for example, you need safety first. I'm sure when you came here, you saw people wearing safety officers. Make sure that you are always safe. Make sure that the PPE that you are wearing protects you from the risks and the hazard that being on site provides you with. And then we also do innovation. For example, at Prana, we have designed and we are locally manufacturing toilets, flushing toilets, that you can use in rural areas where you don't have access to municipal connections. It means that now flushing toilets are no longer just for those who live in suburbs, but even those who live in rural areas are able to have that dignity of having an experience of a flush and forget. We are also very research-driven, how we got to know about these technologies, because every night before I sleep, I scroll through and I check what's happening in the world. We can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect that our world is going to get better. So it's only through immersing myself in reading and in research that ideas come up. We've got a very disturbing statistics, which is professionally registered females. According to EXA, we only have less than 20%. So I am speaking and imploring, especially the girls in this room today, to say that you must please consider becoming an engineer because it's such a crucial skill. And there is such misrepresentation in our country. You've got what it takes, and if you are looking for mentors, we are here. We've charted fields where we didn't have mentors, but you don't have to struggle the way that we did. So make sure that you choose engineering and reach out, and we will be able to guide you through. So I'd like to say that I believe in each and every single one of you. And for the fact that you've made it thus far into your high school, I'm very proud. And I really hope that we will see you at university, having chosen engineering and coming to join this industry. Thank you.